A'ja Wilson is upset that Caitlyn may consider moving to Europe. A'ja's desire to be Nike's star is sparking conflict with Caitlyn's potential international earnings.
Nonsense about things that Caitlyn was doing wrong when, in my personal opinion, she was doing nothing but going out there and playing great basketball every night and ignoring the hate that was coming to her from all sides, not only from fans.
Caitlyn is set to become the highest-paid female basketball player in the world if she moves abroad. However, A'ja believes that as the MVP, she should have more attention and possibilities, but this is not happening.
A'ja Wilson, 28 years old, 1,000 points in the regular season. Why is that not the biggest story out at the moment? And why are we talking about Caitlyn Clark?
Why exactly? Why when A'ja was releasing a shoe were we talking about Caitlyn?
Caitlyn has improved sponsorship deals, increased compensation, and made the WNBA one of the most watched sports, but there is still jealousy among players in the league, which is why she should quit. Let's analyze a game without Caitlyn Clark.
It's now commonplace where she'll go for 26 and 12. I mean, those are great numbers for any player, no matter how long you've been in the league. She's learned how to play the game, and she said, I had to learn how to play the WNBA.
A'ja believes she is the star despite the fact that there were no people watching the WNBA before to Caitlyn's arrival. Caitlyn should be the highest-earning player. Let's hope she moves abroad to teach players like A'ja Wilson what it's like without her.
If you guys take a look at the stands, all the seats, even the courtside seats, are empty.
Caitlyn Clark's prospective signing with the European Basketball League has caused shockwaves in the WNBA. Europe attracts great talent in several sports, with competitive leagues giving big contracts and international recognition for Caitlyn. European leagues offer higher compensation than the WNBA, providing major financial incentives for players. Europe offers a chance to ensure a financial future while maintaining a competitive edge.
4. Moved home games to bigger arenas when Indiana came to town to accommodate more fans. I'm not finished. Attendance for the entire league is up nearly 50% this year, and Indiana leads all teams with an average attendance of 17,035, up 319% from a year ago.
A'ja Wilson expressed her dissatisfaction with Caitlyn Clark's deal in Europe, citing financial concerns. Despite being a dominant force in the WNBA for years, the prospect of Caitlyn earning more money elsewhere hurts A'ja. A'ja's shift in earning potential threatens her status as one of the league's top players. Being the highest-paid player is not only about financial security, but also about being recognized for their value on and off the court. A'ja, who has worked hard to establish her brand and position in the WNBA, may be overshadowed by Caitlyn's rising star. As the league's face for years, this is a difficult truth to accept.
This went from being one of the most loved teams in the WNBA to being riddled with so much drama this season. A'ja Wilson was under fire last week for the privileged comment that she made to Kelsey Plum.
However, it's not just about money. A'ja's reaction to Caitlyn's contract in Europe stems from a fear of losing her position as the league's leading figure in women's basketball. Caitlyn's rapid rise has changed A'ja's perception that she can outperform her and take the spotlight overseas, threatening A'ja's sense of security and prominence in the sport. Being the face of the WNBA is more than just being a great player. A'ja Wilson has held the position for a while, but Caitlyn Clark's ascension has generated strong competition between the two stars.
Agree with it. I thought she would be unanimous. I mean, it's not even close because I said the most important person in the league is Caitlyn Clark and should be a top 5, if not, should have been a top 3 MVP candidate.
A'ja Wilson aims to stay relevant in a changing landscape, while Caitlyn Clark's name is becoming synonymous with the future of women's basketball. One notable difference between the two is how fans perceive them. Caitlyn has a large fan base that support her both on and off the court. Her social media presence is strong, and her games have high viewership. However, there is a noticeable difference between the two players. A'ja has struggled to maintain the same level of fan loyalty as Caitlyn, despite her years of success. Fans are drawn to new talent, and Caitlyn's entry into the WNBA has provided a fresh narrative for the league. Fans see her as the future of the sport. Caitlyn Clark's prospective signing with the European Basketball League has caused shockwaves in the WNBA. Europe attracts great talent in several sports, with competitive leagues giving big contracts and international recognition for Caitlyn. European leagues offer higher compensation than the WNBA, providing major financial incentives for players. Europe offers a chance to ensure a financial future while maintaining a competitive edge.
You're supposed to be the MVP, and you only got one win out of that series. That's why I think, now I wonder if they had a 5-game series in the first round, there might be a possibility they may not win that series.
Asia is frustrated with her lack of fan recognition, as she has worked hard to establish her legacy, but is eclipsed by someone who has only recently made a name for herself. Asia is concerned that as Caitlyn's fan base grows, her own fan base may dwindle, putting her in a less powerful position in the league and in the public eye. Fan loyalty is crucial for a player's career. After winning MVP, she should have become the face of the WNBA. However, Caitlyn has taken all the spotlight, which raises questions about her. Despite Clark's contributions to the WNBA in terms of viewership and advocacy, she has faced resistance from within the league. This is surprising given Clark's efforts to elevate the profile of women's basketball and introduce meaningful changes, such as charter jets for player travel. The WNBA should be celebrating its stars. One factor to consider is the kind of change. Caitlyn represents a new generation of players who defy the current quo. Caitlyn has improved sponsorship deals, increased compensation, and made the WNBA one of the most watched sports, but there is still jealousy among players in the league, which is why she should quit. Let's analyze a game without Caitlyn Clark.
People were so bad, they got the #1 pick. You gotta be bad to get the #1 pick. And she led them to their first 20-win season in almost a decade. She led them to the playoffs. I mean, the girl deserved the award.
Her outspokenness, Kin's rise to fame and push for better conditions has made her a controversial figure. Some see her as a threat to the established order, but this resistance is also about power. Kin's influence has grown to the point where she can make demands, which can be uncomfortable for those who prefer control over the narrative.
LeBron James had tennis shoes in his rookie year. He didn't have a fraction of the impact on the NBA that Caitlyn Clark has had on the W.
Her outspokenness, Kin's rise to fame and push for better conditions has made her a controversial figure. Some see her as a threat to the established order, but this resistance is also about power. Kin's influence has grown to the point where she can make demands, which can be uncomfortable for those who prefer control over the narrative.
Caitlyn Clark, #1 in jersey sales, Angel Reese 2, Sabrina 3, Kate Martin 4. We talked about this earlier in the season. I feel sad that Kate Martin also hasn't gotten as much playing time the second half of the season. I feel like she deserves more, or maybe she deserves a different team. How crazy would that be if she went to Indiana? Just saying.
The impact of Caitlyn Clark's departure for Europe on WNBA viewership is a major concern for the league. Caitlyn's dynamic style of basketball and ability to connect with fans have made her a popular player in the WNBA. Her presence on the court boosts viewership, but her absence leads to a decline in ratings. If Caitlyn leaves the league for Europe, the league would lose not only one of its most popular players, but also one of its most devoted fans. Caitlyn's ability to captivate fans is unparalleled, and her departure would be challenging to fill for a league aiming to expand its fan base and awareness. Losing a player like Caitlyn Jenner would have a devastating impact not only on the league, but also on individual players like A'ja Wilson. Fewer fans would watch games, and sponsorship and endorsement opportunities would decrease, affecting players' earnings and ability to build personal brands. A'ja's anger with Caitlyn's rising star could worsen if she leaves with a huge portion of the audience. A'ja Wilson's issues with Caitlyn Clark transcend beyond the court and into the world of endorsements, specifically with Nike. Caitlyn, a Nike athlete for years, has worked hard to build her brand and secure her position as one of the company's top athletes. However, despite her rising popularity, Nike has been slow to fully embrace her. Caitlyn has been sidelined largely due to the controversy surrounding her in the league A'ja. This is not just about money, but also about recognition and the influence endorsements play. Nike's unwillingness to completely commit. Caitlyn exemplifies the tricky balance brands must maintain between promoting outstanding talent and avoiding controversy.
The paying customer, the audience didn't feel that way. They did not give a damn about the WNBA. Is that fair to the ladies? No. it isn't fair. But they're the paying customer. You don't tell them what they want. They tell you what they want. And they really were not feeling the WNBA to the degree that they're feeling the WNBA now, obviously because of Caitlin Clark.
Despite her efforts to improve the WNBA, Caitlin Clark has received flack from both the league and her teammates. This raises issues about why she is misunderstood from the outside. Caitlin has had a beneficial impact on the WNBA, increasing viewership, enhancing player conditions, and lobbying for the league's future. It's unclear why she is facing animosity. Caitlyn Jenner's quick notoriety can cause envy and frustration among players like A'ja Wilson, who have spent years building their names in the sport. Caitlyn's success can pose a threat, but her departure to Europe marks a personal and league-wide turning point. The contract provides her with a fresh start away from the hatred she has received in the WNBA. Europe provides. Her departure might have enormous ramifications for the WNBA while providing financial stability and opportunities for worldwide career growth. Losing Caitlin would reduce viewership and fan engagement, jeopardizing the league's growth and potentially shifting the balance of power in women's basketball, with Europe emerging as a new hub for top players. The WNBA must decide whether to improve player circumstances to retain future stars or risk losing talent to international options. Caitlin's decision will impact the future of the WNBA, determining the league's growth and player paths. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. More videos are now displayed on the screen. Caitlin is set to become the highest-paid female basketball player in the world if she moves abroad. However, A'ja believes that as the MVP, she should have more attention and possibilities, but this is not happening. A'ja Wilson is upset that Caitlin may consider moving to Europe. A'ja's desire to be Nike's star is sparking conflict with Caitlin's potential international